Welcome to Retro Rides Garage, where some motorcycles are remembered for their style, speed, or groundbreaking innovation. Others are remembered for all the wrong reasons. These are the machines that rolled out with big promises and bold marketing, but quickly showed their flaws. Some had engineering disasters that left owners stranded. Others had strange designs that made riders wonder what the manufacturer was thinking. Many became famous not for performance, but for failure. Some broke down constantly. Others were dangerously unstable. A few were so overpriced that no one wanted them at all. Over time, these disasters gained a strange new charm. Collectors now hunt them down because their history is outrageous. Owning one feels like having a piece of motorcycling folklore. They went from showroom embarrassments to conversation starters. Every flaw turned into a badge of honor. In this video, we count down 12 motorcycles that failed so badly they became running jokes in the collector world. If you love exploring the strange, the rare, and the forgotten side of motorcycling history, hit that subscribe button and join us for more incredible stories from the road. Number 12. The Gelara Satano BL Barrow of 1988 tried to resurrect a storied name with a purist, lightweight cafe racer vibe, and instead landed in the oddball bin. Born from a late 80s Italian-Japanese collaboration, led by Sandro Colombo and Enha Gawara, it repackaged the enduro-sourced 4-stroke single for a road-going sportster aimed at style-hungry minimalists. The 500 version used a liquid-cooled, double-overhead cam, 4-valve single of roughly 492 cubic centimeters, making about 44 horsepower at 7,000 RPM, fed by a Dalor 40mm. Carb. Top speed hovered near 110 miles per hour, with a dry weight around 150, 7 kilograms and single discs of roughly 300 millimeters front and 240 millimeters rear. There was also a rarer 350 that underlined how niche the concept was. Gorgeous, focused, and impractical, it sold in tiny numbers and vanished fast now, a cult curio more smirk than menace. If one showed up in your garage, trophy, or track toy. Number 10. The BMW R1200C of 1997 was BMW's unconventional leap into the cruiser market, aimed squarely at Harley-Davidson's dominance, but filtered through unmistakable German engineering. Powered by a 1,171 cubic centimeter air, an oil-cooled boxer twin producing around 61 horsepower and 72 pound-feet of torque. It offered shaft drive, telelever front suspension, and ergonomics that mixed laid-back posture with BMW touring DNA. Its distinctive styling high handlebars, low seat, chunky fenders, and exposed chrome earned it a cameo in the James Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies. But that Hollywood boost could not mask its shortcomings. Cruiser fans found it underpowered for its size, while BMW loyalists saw it as too far from the brand's sport touring roots. Sales were modest, and by 2004, it was discontinued after various trends failed to ignite the market. Today, it's remembered more for its quirky design gamble than for riding thrills. Would you call it misunderstood or miscalculated? Number 11. The Honda N01 of 2008 was Honda's bold but baffling attempt to fuse cruiser comfort, sport touring posture, and scooter-like simplicity into one futuristic machine, and the market barely knew what to do with it. Unveiled as a concept in 2005 and brought to production largely unchanged, it used a 682 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V-twin from the Deauville, making around 61 horsepower, paired with Honda's new HFT, hydraulic automatic transmission offering drive, sport, and manual modes via thumb shifters. Styling was radical, with a swooping, low-slung body, integrated windscreen, and shaft drive, but practicality suffered limited luggage space. low ground clearance, and a weight of about 270 kilograms dulled performance. Priced far above most mid-size bikes, it confused traditional riders and scooter fans alike, leading to poor sales and a short lifespan. Today, its rarity and polarizing looks make it a conversation piece. Would you call it ahead of its time or just out of place? Number 9. The Kawasaki Z1RTC of 1978 was America's first factory-authorized turbocharged production motorcycle, though factory is a stretch, as the turbo kit was dealer-installed by Turbocycle Corporation under Kawasaki's blessing. Based on the Z1R Superbike, it retained the 998 cubic centimeter air-cooled inline-4, but added an American-made Rajay turbocharger and draw-through carb setup, boosting output from roughly 90 horsepower to over 120. In a straight line, it was brutally fast, easily topping 140 miles per hour, but the stock frame, suspension, and brakes were unchanged, making high-speed handling a white-knuckle experience. With no wastegate and crude fueling, turbo lag was followed by an explosive surge that caught many riders off guard, earning it a reputation for being as dangerous as it was thrilling. Sold in tiny numbers and quickly overshadowed by safer, more refined machines, it's now a rare collectible. Would you dare tame one or just keep it as a garage legend? Number 8. The Norton Commando 850 Mk3, launched in 1975, was the final evolution of Norton's famed parallel twin, arriving as British industry struggled against rising Japanese dominance. Its 828 cubic centimeter air-cooled twin produced around 59 horsepower, paired with a 4-speed gearbox and the isoelastic frame system that tamed the engine's notorious vibration. The Mk3 introduced long-overdue updates like a left-side gear shift for US regulations, electric start, and a rear disc brake. But these came with added weight and reliability headaches, especially the underpowered starter, which often left riders resorting to the kick lever. While it still handled well and carried classic Norton charm, its dated design, oil leaks, and spotty build quality made it feel old-fashioned next to smoother, faster Japanese Multis. Production ended in 1977, and the Mk3 went down as both a dignified swan song and a symbol of a great brand decline. Number 7. The Yamaha TX750, launched in 1973, was intended to rival the big British twins with modern engineering and Japanese reliability, but it quickly became one of Yamaha's most infamous missteps. Its 743 cubic centimeter air-cooled parallel twin made about 63 horsepower and featured an innovative omni-phase balancer to reduce vibration, along with a 5-speed gearbox and front disc brake. Unfortunately, the balancer system generated excess heat, which, combined with inadequate oiling, led to rapid engine wear, sludge buildup, and catastrophic failures. Early bikes also suffered from cam chain issues and had gasket leaks, prompting rushed fixes that came too late to save its reputation. Despite solid handling and comfort, sales collapsed after just 2 model years, and by 1975, it was gone from the lineup. Today, surviving TX750s are rare curiosities. Would you restore one for the challenge or avoid it like the mechanical time bomb it once was? Number 6. The Suzuki G750, nicknamed the Water Buffalo in the US and Kettle in the UK, debuted in 1971 as the first mass-produced Japanese motorcycle with a liquid-cooled engine. Its 738 cubic centimeter 2-stroke triple produced around 67 horsepower, delivering smooth power and a top speed near 110 miles per hour, paired with a 5-speed gearbox and front disc brake. The water cooling, unusual for the era, kept it quiet and refined. But its heavy weight, over 220 kilograms, dry blunted handling, and thirsty fuel consumption combined with smoky exhaust gave it an image problem as cleaner. Faster four-strokes emerged. Despite a comfortable ride and touring capability, tightening emissions laws and changing tastes pushed it out by 1977. Once mocked for being big, soft, and dated, it's now a cult classic. Would you ride it proudly, or just park it for nostalgia's sake? Number 5. The Honda CX500, launched in 1978, was Honda's unconventional middleweight tourer, earning nicknames like Plastic Maggot in the UK for its odd looks. Powered by a 496 cubic centimeter, liquid-cooled, four-stroke, transverse-mounted V-twin with pushrod-operated 4 valves per cylinder, it made about 48 horsepower and used shaft drive, a rarity in its class. Its reliability was strong, but early models suffered from cam chain tensioner failures and stator issues, which could require engine removal to fix. Styling was divisive, with bulky side covers, a tall frame, and Comstar wheels, and while it offered comfort, stability, and decent weather protection, it was heavier and slower than many rivals. The CX500 eventually gained a loyal following, especially with the later turbo and cruiser variants, but its awkward debut left it an easy target for ridicule. Today, it's part dependable workhorse, part quirky collectible. Would you ride one daily or keep it as a retro conversation starter? Number 4. The Moto Gucci V65, introduced in 1982, was part of Gucci's small block V-twin lineup, aimed at riders wanting Italian style in a lighter, more manageable package. It's 644 cubic centimeter air-cooled. Longitudinal V-twin made around 50 horsepower and was paired with a 5-speed gearbox and shaft drive. While it offered nimble handling and classic Gucci character, it suffered from the era's limited build quality, with electrical gremlins, weak switchgear, and occasional gearbox issues. Styling was angular and somewhat dated even at launch, and its modest performance left it struggling against faster, smoother Japanese middleweights. The V65 was offered in various trims, including the touring-oriented SP and the sportier Lario, the latter notorious for valve train problems. Though it sold steadily in Europe, it never achieved widespread appeal elsewhere, becoming a niche enthusiast bike. Now it's a charming but flawed reminder of 80s Moto Guzzi. Would you call it characterful or just compromised? Number 3. The Ducati 916, launched in 1994, is widely hailed as one of the most beautiful and influential superbikes ever built. But its early years were also plagued with problems that frustrated owners. Designed by Massimo Tamburini, it featured a 916 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled, fuel-injected, 90-degree desmodromic V-twin, producing around 114 horsepower, with a single-sided swing arm and aggressive chassis geometry that made it a handling benchmark. However, the first production run suffered from fragile rockers and flaking chrome, overheating in traffic, electrical faults, and a demanding maintenance schedule with costly valve adjustments, combined with a high purchase price and race-focused ergonomics. These issues made the 916 temperamental for everyday riders despite its track dominance. Though Ducati improved reliability over time, and its world superbike success cemented its legend, the early bikes became as famous for their beauty and performance as for their quirks. Would you risk the headaches for the glory? Number 2. The Mamoto Vu, launched in 1997, was meant to be the boutique Italian brand's masterpiece, a lightweight, razor-sharp sport bike powered by an in-house 500 cubic centimeter, fuel-injected 2-stroke V-twin. Producing around 110 horsepower and weighing just 145 kilograms dry, it promised Grand Prix thrills for the road. However, The innovative direct fuel injection system was disastrously flawed, causing erratic fueling, poor throttle response, and frequent seizures. Riders complained of unrideable behavior, and warranty claims overwhelmed the small company, forcing a recall and ultimately contributing to Mamoto's financial collapse. Later carbureted Evoluzione versions fixed much of the running issues, but the damage was done. Only a few hundred were built in total. Today, the V2 is a stunning but infamous example of engineering ambition outpacing real-world development. Would you dare to tame one, or just admire it as a cautionary tale? In carbon fiber? Number 1. The Suzuki RE5, introduced in 1974, was Japan's boldest experiment with rotary power, using a 497 cubic centimeter single-rotor Wankel engine producing around 62 horsepower. Smooth and unique sounding, it was paired with a 5-speed gearbox and could reach about 110 miles per hour. But its complexity made it heavy, over 230 kilograms, dry and thirsty, with poor fuel economy. Styling was initially futuristic, featuring Giorgetto Giugiaro designed cylindrical gauges and taillight, which many found awkward. Later models toned this down. Despite its novelty, the RE5 faced a market wary of rotary reliability and issues. With heat management, apex seal wear, and awkward low-speed manners hurt its appeal. Priced higher than conventional 4s and launching just as the fuel crisis hit, sales flopped, and by 1976, it was gone. Now it's a rare, quirky collectible. Would you ride its silky hum, or keep it as a display of daring gone wrong?